Good morning. Happy Monday. It is March 17th, and that was one hell of a weekend. The eclipse definitely did the eclipsing. A lot of stuff happened. I know we saw all the storms that happened. And I know that I made a prediction a few weeks ago, probably about 3 weeks ago, about tornadoes and fires and high winds and stuff. I didn't think they were all going to happen at once, but they did. And that's like the majority of the country is kind of screwed right now. So, make sure you're taking care of yourself in all of this difficultness that's going around and happening just within, nature itself kind of doing its thing right now. But we also saw some stuff, on the government level that was concerning over the weekend as well, like the intentional and admitting that it was intentional of ignoring court orders. Like that's not good. Okay, once that starts, that's a big problem. So things are going to continue to get worse and difficult. So we really need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves as individuals right now, so that we can get through the collective insanity that is happening. Okay. Today, the moon is in Scorpio. The moon does not like to be in Scorpio. Things are deep. They are intense. They are extremely emotional. And there is also that kind of tendency to shove down those emotions and try your best to ignore them. But it can lead to some depressions and things of that nature. It's being ruled by Pluto, which is in Aquarius. Pluto does not like to be in Aquarius. It's also being ruled by Mars in traditional astrology, and it is in Cancer, and it does not like being in Cancer. So things are very uncomfortable. They are very intense. And Pluto is being ruled by Uranus, that is also doesn't like being in Taurus. So just kind of make sure that you're slowing down and taking care of yourself and doing your best to process things as they come in. If you got to take a step back, take a step back. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself right now. This morning, right now, the moon is in a square with that Pluto, so that is that conflict where, you're emotionally and subconsciously kind of in this dark space. We've got all the things that have happened over the weekend with the Pluto and Aquarius. That is that destruction and that, the transformation, but transformation is never pretty, of the collective, right? Those things they're struggling together, okay? They're in conflict with each other. They're creating some difficult situations. Later this evening, the moon will make an inconjunct to both Venus and Mercury, both retrograde in Aries. This is like a subconscious shift in concern to whatever it is that you are reviewing when it comes to relationships and your thought processes and the things that you thought were true that maybe weren't true. In Aries, this is all about what has been holding you back from being yourself, being authentic, taking the risks that you like to take, doing the things that you really enjoy doing, that light you up, that give you that like energy. What was it that you were trying to start that maybe got held back because of other people or because of your own thoughts? But be careful that shift doesn't like send you into a depression. Let's try not to. You can't, and I know I said this yesterday on TikTok. I don't think I put it here, or Saturday. You can't be thinking backwards and thinking, oh, I could have done better. No, you couldn't have. We have to understand that we did the best we could in the situations that we were in with the tools that we had. You may be able to do better now if you've been doing the work and working on yourself and trying to better yourself and heal yourself. But that means that you have different tools now than you did then, right? So don't think back and think, oh, I could have done this differently. You did what you could in the moment with what you had. Now we can move forward with new tools and new understandings, okay? So don't beat yourself up and get into like a deep, dark depression. Things are upsetting, and you're allowed to be upset about things that are upsetting, right? But you don't have to be mad at yourself because you didn't know better in the moment, okay? Or because you were unhealed, or because you were projecting. We all do it, okay? You don't have to be mad at yourself for that, okay? But yeah, it's been rough, and it's going to keep being rough. Just make sure that you're taking care of yourself and you're not, falling too far into a depression. It's okay to feel the emotions. It's okay to process the emotions, but don't get lost in them. Okay, so let's pull the cards. What is the energy for the collective today? Oh, I keep forgetting to say this. I did it on the other one too. The sun is conjunct the North Node. This is the sun shining a light on what we are gaining. Even if that gaining is confusion and fogginess. That's too funny. It's definitely shining a light on that North Node where we're having this gain. This can be intuition. It can be your psychic abilities, especially within dreams. This can be showing us where we're moving forward in the realm of kind of things being foggy and trying to lean on our intuition to get through them and make decisions. This is also the sun, which is representative of like whoever's at the top, right? That person also either being kind and empathetic or being shady and manipulative and underhanded, right? There's also a gain in delusion and paranoia and like kind of sneaky underhanded energy as well. So kind of pay attention to the world around you. Make sure that you're listening to your intuition. If it tells you that someone's being shady as all get out, they are, So we all are making these gains in different ways dependent on our own natal inclination to these energies. So just keep that in mind. Your intuition is on point, even if you don't like what you're seeing, okay? Don't fall into delusions because you want to avoid what is reality. Okay, let's see. So again, our energy of the day is Seven of Cups, that confusion, that fogginess. There could be like extra fogginess going on today. What to focus on? What is the collective? That was a whole handful, and we don't do a whole handful. We just want one. What is the collective need to focus on today? There we go. The Two of Swords. This is crossroads. So that those inconjuncts that the moon is making tonight or this evening to Venus and Mercury, that is crossroads energy. The inconjunct is very crossroadsy. This has got kind of a faded energy of you've got to make a decision, but you're not really sure which way to go, right? You see the Two of Swords, she's always got this blindfold on, right? She can't see the path forward, but she knows she has to make a decision anyway. Really think about that. Listen to that intuition to help guide you forward. It's a scary situation, and the moon in Scorpio can very much bring up fear about this. So really, let me point this out to you. How she's kind of looking at this Seven of Cups. There's a lot of options out there. There's a lot of things going on, and you've got to make a decision out of your intuition and allow yourself to be guided rather than trying to take control of everything and moving forward. So make sure that you're slowing down, you're listening to the universe, and you're allowing yourself to move forward in a way that is more guided rather than trying to control things. Okay? What to avoid today? Six of Wands. Again, not everything's clear. Mercury is retrograde, right? Things are never clear when Mercury is retrograde. And the Pisces pile up is adding to that confusion. So don't pat yourself on the back just yet, kind of thing. If you are making decisions, I know there's the whole thing about how you can't sign contracts or anything like that when it comes to Mercury retrograde. That's not entirely true. You can just make sure that you're being extra cautious. You're reading things and rereading them like 3 times, triple checking things, and make sure that you fully understand things. Make sure you're asking questions, right? But right now, because things are so foggy and we don't really see the clear path forward, maybe hold off on celebrating some wins because you might find yourself disappointed in the future. Maybe not because of your own actions, but because of other people's, right? So really slow down, move slowly, focus on the decision that needs to be made, but maybe don't make the decision just yet, okay? So we got Queen of Wands on the bottom. So there is still like this underlying energy of like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to take action. I'm ready to make something happen here. But you're just not clearly seeing everything to be able to really do that. Okay. Clarifiers for the Seven of Cups. The energy. Maybe. Doesn't want to give us clarifiers today. You get to just stay in the fog. Oh. Page of Wands in the Tower. Okay. This is like running headfirst into the collapse kind of energy. You can't see things clearly. Everything is just a fog. But we also have this energy where like we want to go, right? This is those retrogrades in Aries. Like it's like human nature to try to fight against that internal work that you're supposed to be doing with retrogrades. So instead you like want to put it out there, you want to do something with it, you want to make something happen. But doing so is going to run you head first into the tower, right? So we need to make sure that we are slowing down and taking our time because everything is so foggy, right? So this is actually a very kind of all over the place type of energy where you know something has to happen. You don't know what it is that has to happen, but you know that things are about to change and you need to do something to get ready for the change, but you don't know what the change is. We need to slow down. We need to make sure that sometimes you've got to let all the dominoes fall before you can start picking them up and rebuilding again, okay? So just slow down. Okay, let's put clarifiers on our Two of Swords. We've got, Nine of Swords. That is that like nightmare, anxiety, depression kind of energy. Oh, well. Eight of Wands, Injustice. I don't like pulling this many of them. Okay. So we've got that nightmare, that very anxious feeling that you have. And it's putting you in this space where, again, you know you need to make a decision, right? But things are happening so fast. Things are coming in at you so fast. You don't really know which way to go with it, okay? But we need to find the balance. We need to, sometimes you got to do the whole let go and let God. You know, when we're looking at these major arcana cards, this is more faded type of energy. It doesn't necessarily mean like a major event, but it does mean that this is a situation where we got to like step back and let things fall as they may, so that justice can happen before you move forward. So really focus on that energy where you know you need to do something. You're not sure what it is. What is this anxiety that is underlying for you? Where is everything flying at you? And just kind of slow down and let things fall where they need to, and let the universe deliver that justice and that balance that needs to come out. The justice is, has that whole sort of truth thing to it. So sometimes stepping back, I keep saying this, let people dig their own graves right now, and don't react to it. Just let it happen as it may, and pay attention as these things happen so that you know where to move forward from there, okay? Clarifiers on the Six of Wands. Why are we avoiding the Six of Wands? I think we kind of got our answer in that first pull, but let's see. That's another whole handful. Why are we avoiding the Six of Wands? We have a Two of Cups. And, the Emperor and the Magician. I don't know why it's giving me three here, but Laura will take it. We got this Two of Cups and the Emperor, right? So if you're like, let's face it, Mercury's retrograde, and we are rethinking a whole lot of stuff, including relationships. And there's a lot of regret that's kind of floating around in the air right now. So you'd say you think you're winning. Like somebody comes to you and says, hey, I screwed up, right? They've got this very Emperor vibe, large and in charge. I've done my stuff. I've done my work. I've built things up, right? And they're coming in like a kind of loving, kind way, right? But there's also that sleight of hand of that Sun conjunct the North Node, right? All of the Pisces buildup. So don't celebrate it. I'm also getting there might be I told you so moments here. You don't need to actually say I told you so, which is really hard coming from me because I love a good I told you so. But just slow down. Make sure that you are letting your intuition guide you as you move through the day. Let the chips fall where they may. Don't really make any decisions, even though there is the underlying energy of I need to do something, right? That's just us being uncomfortable and not wanting to be uncomfortable anymore. So we feel like we've got to make something happen. But right now we need to let the chips fall where they're going to fall first.